Alright, and welcome back to the Tavern Hero April qualifier.
Yeah, and we have two casters here. It'll be me, Hermes,
and my name is Bronan. So the finals today will be RealTerror, who just eliminated Cracksmith to a score of 3-1, and JorDude.
Yeah. And we see here that Jordan is bringing his Rogue, Warrior, Mage, and Warlock, where RealTerror is bringing out his Pally, Warrior, Warlock, and Druid.
With Jordan banning RealTerror's Druid, and RealTerror banning Jordan's Warrior. Should be an interesting match.
Yeah, it would be quite exciting. Yeah, like during the Swiss format, during the Swiss portion of the tournament, RealTerror actually took down TheJordude.
So a little bit of grudge match in the finals. A little bit of grudge match.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
So they're familiar with each other's decks. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming the same decks, the same thing, same bands as before. Let's get right into this.
Let's see if the TheJordude can come back with the win against RealTerror this time in the finals. Okay.
So starting off, we have TheJordude bringing Freeze Mage against RealTerror's Reno Lock. Combo Reno Lock with the Jiraxis.
What do you think about this matchup? Sometimes I think the Reno actually has a chance against this matchup because of so much sustain, plus having Lothep to lock up the spells. But most people actually say that Freeze Mage actually have the advantage just because you can burn them down, and typically the Warlock Hero Power helps them out.
Typically, yes, and we see JorDude is running the version with the double Novice Engineers, so likely going with the Torch with that instead. It is an interesting match. Reno Lock has so much heal with it, with Bran Healbot, as we saw from the previous game, and Reno Jackson to counteract the Alexstrasza.
Yeah. It definitely depends on timing, like when you play your Reno Jackson and your anti-Healbot, or like right after the Alexstrasza and stuff like that.
And we see the Reno Jackson and the Lothep coming in from the RealTerror.
Definitely have the right utility against the Freeze Mage.
That is for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
There'll be a couple slow draws starting off. Novice Engineer, get that draw going, and hopefully get that burn.
Yeah, I really like the JorDude's Freeze Mage build right here. He does play the Novice Engineer, really good against aggressive matchups because you do get the draw right away and react to the board as well with the cards drawn from the Novice Engineer.
And also to go with those torches to deal off the little minions. And then cheaper fireballs are always a welcome addition. This list, I believe, is not running the Archmage Antonidas.
Yeah, it definitely is not, because Archmage Antonidas is a little bit slow for this build.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
So we see what the JorDude is going to do this turn.
He can be mana efficient and just typically use a Novice Engineer and play the Doomsayer, because Imp Boss is a little annoying. It would generate 1/1s.
That is true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because he does have 2 Novice Engineers on board already. But picking up this Mad Scientist, you definitely need to play
the Mad Scientist.
Yeah.
That is a huge draw. Opting not to use the Doomsayer this turn, saving it for a later turn, hopefully to get rid of some of the more pesky cards coming in from RealTerror. He's hovering over the Drake, good, always solid 4-drop. And with no silences coming in from the Freeze Mage, the only option out is that Doomsayer.
Yeah, RealTerror can actually Implosion here, but it's technically not needed. It's because it gets removed so easily with the hero power. Definitely playing the Twilight Drake as favorite here. He doesn't really want to coin out Lothep because he really wants to lock up those spells when the time is right.
Want to be using that Lothep on a very influential turn, not wasting it early. And we see the Pyroblast come in. Lots of burn.
I typically like the Frost Nova and Doomsayer right here. It does remove the sticky board that the RealTerror has established right now.
That's very true, and it only really gets punished by the Owl, which the RealTerror does not have at the moment.
Another move the JorDude can do is establishing the Ice Block and also paying the 1/1 creature on board, just to establish these secrets as fast as possible.
we see a Doomsayer come out this turn. It's only 6 damage on board, nothing too crazy.
Yeah. I don't think he feels the 6 damage as a threat, so...
And you can always just put up a block, put up a barrier.
Yeah.
And there we go, we see that second secret coming up. So Jordude feels pretty safe, I'd say, behind these secrets. And knowing that he has the Frost Nova Doomsayer for any later turns.
So a little hard to see RealTerror's hand right now. He does have the coin where he can point out Emperor, which feels pretty good in reducing everything from his hand.
It's very true, very true. There is not all that much to do this turn.
Yeah.
I'll just clear the minions. And Terra knowing that these are the ice block and ice barrier, not going to be getting through that armor anytime soon.
The RealTerror does have that 5-drop in the far right. I'm not sure what it is.
I believe he has a Shredder and the Faceless.
I see.
Running the Leroy Jenkins combo variant.
Since we did see a combo piece in RealTerror's hand, potentially playing the Emperor is actually pretty good here, but decided to go for a more sticky route just to survive against like a Doomsayer combo or any AoE board clears.
Alright. I am not the most familiar with the Furries Mage, but it is.
Since TheJordude has ice barrier up right now, he does have approximately 38 health. The board doesn't seem too much of a threat. He can use Forgotten Torch to remove the Shredder Death Rattle and potentially board clear the following turn with Frost Nova and Doomsayer.
Let's see what this Shredder pulls. Pretty typical drop.
So TheJordude's doing some damage control right now.
Still leaving up. So the damage on board takes care of that ice barrier, but that's about it.
Yeah. The RealTerror is typically doing about 1 damage right now. It's not too much of a threat.
Not too much.
I really like putting down Emperor here. You can reduce most of your hand, especially when you have 1 combo piece already. But he doesn't really want it to die to a Frost Nova Doomsayer combo.
That is true. That's true. And then you get that low Feb reducted, and then also part of that combo piece. And we do know RealTerror is running the Lord Jaraxxus as well, a little bit more healing and options to get those Infernals. We should be seeing a few slow turns and then real actions coming in.
So the Emperor is coming down. He can't really play around the AoE clear that the TheJordude has. He needs to put up pressure. Reducing quite a lot of the cards in his hand is pretty good already. Faceless is already reduced, can potentially combo on turn 10 with the Power Overwhelming and the Leroy Jenkins.
And the deduction, and the Roaring Torch. Lots of burn.
Yeah, definitely lots of burn. So using the mana efficiently, maybe the TheJordude does want to remove the Emperor right away. He can typically just Frost Nova Doomsayer, although read the RealTerror.
A couple ticks.
Yeah, it does get the second tick off the Emperor. What he can do, he can use a Warring Torch and kill it off right away.
And then draw more burn for later on.
Or he can just develop the ice barrier. That's also fine as well.
And we see him going with the Roaring Torch. Get rid of that Emperor. Make sure no more shenanigans with that mana reduction.
Yeah, I really like this. He doesn't get a second tick off of Emperor, and he also gets the ice barrier, developing it before his hand gets clunky and needed to set up a barrier as fast as possible just to survive.
And a dead draw comes in from the RealTerror, picking up a big game hunter. At this point, not really too impactful. Dies to the Blizzard, and only really impactful against the incoming Alex Straza in the upcoming turns.
So RealTerror is deciding to play the brand Bronze Spirit here. It's good. It negates the Blizzard. It doesn't immediately die to Blizzard, and his board is already really good up against Flamestruck as well because we do see the 4/8 creature on board. Typically, the JorduDude needs to ruin this board by playing Blizzard and following up with some other spell such as Flamestrike, or he could potentially just Frost Nova Doomsayer.
We see another piece of the combo in RealTerror's hand. Oh, not the kind of draw you want to be getting.
Definitely not. Having Ice Block already on board. But he can use that later if he gets threatened lethal.
Very true, very true. And we see the Blizzard Doomsayer. Just clear out that board.
It also negated a turn from RealTerror as well, so that's also very good.
Ooh. And the Acidic Swamp Ooze comes in from RealTerror, another dead draw in this matchup.
Also, the RealTerror actually has 10 cards in hand. He has to play something this turn. Potentially burning off the coin, he can actually do that. Or if he actually values the coin quite a bit, he can actually play something else.
I wouldn't even mind if he values the coin that much to get rid of the Acidic Swamp Ooze. Get rid of that card from hand, making potential others a little bit better.
Interesting.
Very interesting. A lot of real skill coming into these decks.
Yep.
But I'd say RealTerror is feeling a little confident. JorduDude only being at 5 cards. Feeling in the front seat.
What the RealTerror could also do is use the okay, so he decides to play the Acidic Swamp Ooze instead.
Let's free up that space in the hand.
What I thought is he could have Twisting Nethered and played the Ooze, like coin out the Ooze. Typically, you don't really need Twisting Nether in like a minionless deck.
Very true, very true. Alright, and the JorduDude picks up a Fireball. 16 damage in hand. Just need a Magic Emperor to stay on the field for a few turns to get theirs discounted, and might have an OT.
We don't see the JorduDude picking up the burns that he needs. He definitely needs another Frostbolt and another Ice Lance, and potentially combo that down with the Blood Mage Thanos.
And the Alexstrasza.
We're not 100% confirmed that if he's playing Archmage Antonidas or not, but if he isn't, then he does need that combo altogether.
I would assume not. I'm assuming this is probably the Laughing List running the double torch and no Antonidas.
Yeah.
We did see the Alexstrasza in the hand from the mulligan, so we know that's coming.
For the Freeze Mage, what I typically like to do is put the we do see a lot of shouting.
And a Fireball to face. Alright.
I do typically like to put the Warlock around this range, between 15 and 20 something, like 21, just to have enough burst to burst them down from 20, because with the Blood Mage Thanos and with Frostbolts and Ice Lance, potentially with another Roaring Torch, can actually burst them down.
Also threatening just to outright burn him down.
Yeah, just burn him down from straight from 20 something.
And if he plays the Reno Jackson, very unknown to RealTerror, there might be a Alexstrasza in the hand of the JorduDude, which would negate that Reno Jackson quite nicely.
Yeah.
Very, very intricate matchup. I'm sure the guys have been practicing for a while. Alright.
So
taking a read that he does not have it. And the Reno Jackson comes in. Back up to 30 health.
Feels good, man. Feels good.
Feels good.
Always feels good.
We see another Blizzard come in.
Typically, the JorduDude would just ping the face and just pass. He needs to look for his burn. Any card draw would be nice, like Arcane Intellect. Not sure if he runs Loot Hoarder in this deck.
And the Leroy Jenkins comes in for RealTerror. Has the combo entirely minus the power overwhelming.
I'm assuming that one drop in his hand is Abusive Sergeant.
It is the Abusive Sergeant.
Okay.
So he has 16 in hand, 20 in total if he wants to play the entire combo. Not enough to quite proc the Jordude.
Definitely not. What the RealTerror can do now is play a lot of sticky minions, like the Dr.
Like
Boom.
Dr. Boom.
Yeah. Like
Very sticky minion.
Yeah, very sticky. With the Boom boss dealing a lot of damage too, it can potentially put the Jordude in lethal range.
Oh, and the Acolyte comes in. Is it a little bit too late to draw that Acolyte?
He does need the burn though. He does need the burn. But it's a little far. 29 is a little far. He does need to.
Alright. Do we see the Acolyte come down, ping Frostbolt? Or are we going to see a Blizzard? Either way, this board is a lot of damage, and I'm sure Jordy knows that there is a combo coming in, doing his appropriate scouting. And the Doomsayer ping comes in.
I like the Doomsayer here. It does remove the board that the Freeze Mage typically can't handle with just simply Flame Strike.
And low rolls on those bots as well.
Oh, and we see RealTerror actually picking up the Siphon Soul, easily handling the Doomsayer. So if Jordude actually can't handle this board, RealTerror will have lethal the following turn. Or at least popping the block.
You can proc the block and play Loafen next turn as well. Oh, what do we see from Jordy? Another Icelands.
Definitely Acolyte ping. He needs the burn as fast as possible.
Do we see a defensive Frost Nova here?
I feel like a defensive Frost Nova is good. It buys you another turn. You could potentially play the Pyroblast the next turn, reducing RealTerror's health to 20, and maybe picking up the Frostbolt into Iceland into Fireball, potentially bursting him down in the next couple of turns.
Still no Alex Straza coming in for the Jordude.
Feels kind of bad.
Feels bad.
Yeah, definitely against a more sustained type of class. Alex Straza is golden in this matchup.
Absolutely. If you can play that after your opponent plays the Reno Jackson, it is just lock and key in this match. You see the Implosion come out, rolling for 2.
Not bad, not bad.
And
we just see him picking up the Frostbolt. Now he needs is a Thalnos.
Oh, the Thalnos just would put the nail in the coffin for this matchup.
Yeah, definitely.
We see no more heals in hand of the RealTerror.
What RealTerror can potentially do is placing down Lothar, just in case. But he decided. Oh, he did pick up the Thalnos.
And is that the Pyroblast to the face coming in?
I do like the Pyroblast to the face, but the Jordude also needs to be aware of the anti-heal bot that negates the Pyroblast. Oh! RealTerror! Top deck! I know!
And the antique heal bot. Top decking and wrecking.
We hear in the crowd that the antique heal bot hyped up everybody.
The crowd goes wild, literally.
Definitely the antique heal bot does prevent lethal from the Jordude.
That must be pretty demoralizing if the RealTerror must have to play this turn. Or is he gonna save it for the Antonitis? Oh, for the Alex Straza that's gonna come out. Just for more heal since the Reno Jackson has been played.
Definitely. RealTerror sort of can see that he doesn't have Alex Straza. The Jordude did use the Power Blast before the Alex Straza, so the Jordude did signal a little bit that he doesn't have it in hand.
Ooh, do we even see the proc of the ice? No. Ooh. No Leroy.
Oh, Alex Straza! Whoa!
Punish. Cards left. We have 9 cards left for
RealTerror has 9 cards left.
And the Jordude being at 7.
Yeah.
And that is this is like it's going to be game for the Jordude.
Yeah, very exciting match, definitely.
Very exciting.
As we said before, it's all about the timing of the heals that RealTerror puts down. He did put the anti-Iwat before Alex Raza was used, so.
Yeah, that's the way to win this matchup as the Freeze Mage.
Definitely.
Wait till all the heal comes out, and then burn them down with the Alex Straza.
Definitely.
Still having the ice block up, wasn't procced by the Leroy. In the hand from RealTerror. Oh. Wow. Oh.
So the guy named Craximus is not really Craximus. His name's called TheJordude. We made a mistake. So as we see, the Blood Mage Thanos that the Jordude picked up would definitely finish off the game with the Frostbolt, Ice Lance into the Fireball, taking game number 1. Oh wait, no, the Lothab came down, but the Ice Block will buy the Jordude enough time to use it the following turn.
All right. Alright, and not much to do. Proc the block. Lothab is. Alright. Let's see. Let us see. Not real much.
Yeah, not really much.
Jordude playing this matchup perfectly.
The RealTerror doesn't really have much to do. He doesn't really have any much sustain left in the deck. Anti-Killbot's used, Reno.
Is used. No Bran magic.
RealTerror is pretty locked up right now. He doesn't really have the utility to actually survive this matchup. Unless he runs an Earthen Farseer in his deck. Oh, the Peddler can actually get the heals that the RealTerror might need, but is it gonna be enough?
Oh, and in comes Lord Jiraxis.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that is going to be it.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Jordude is gonna finish RealTerror with this amazing spells.
And there goes the damage. Poor Jiraxis.
Yep. Thanos with the Fireball, Frostbolt, and Ice Lance is more than enough to take down the RealTerror for 15.
Alright. And that is game 1, going over to the Jordude with a clean win with the Freeze Mage. Alright. Leaving Jordan with the 2 more decks left to win. Alright.
Yeah, the Jordude taking down RealTerror in game 1. As we said before, that the Freeze Mage is actually a little bit more favored than the Reno lock, but definitely the timing of the healing needs to be played accordingly in order to win this matchup.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So we do see the Jordude winning with the Mage, and also having.
So he just has his Rogue and his Warlock left. So what do you think Jordude is going to queue up with next?
Well, looking at RealTerror, right now he has Pally, Warrior, and Warlock. I would try with the Rogue. RealTerror might even queue up with his Pally, and is quite good against the Reno lock at the same time.
Alright. And we see
a mirror
Warlock match. Looking like this is both Reno.
Both Reno.
Alright. Who can get the combo fast enough?
I definitely like putting back the Reno. Yeah. Even though Reno is a good card, you can put it back. You eventually draw, since tapping every turn is a good thing.
Yeah. Alright, and I like keeping the Dark Peddler as a and there we go.
I'm not particularly sure if the Jordude is actually running combo in his Reno Warlock deck.
That is true. At the latest tournament that the Jordude was at, he was not bringing combo actually.
He's not.
So this will Ah, and the
Oh.
refreshment vendor. So this looks like this might not be combo Reno lock. So if Jordu can stay alive against this aggression from the RealTerror and his combo Reno lock, that would be it.
So this is sort of like a grindier, more type of Reno lock.
Oh, Kazan missed it.
We do see a Kazan.
That is some nice tech. Makes a bunch of freeze mages cry.
Yeah, and also we do see RealTerror having that Paladin matchup in his arsenal as well.
Right. Okay. What do we see coming out from RealTerror?
He definitely needs something on board. He needs something to contest. The Pilot Shredder looks pretty sweet right now. He can potentially use the Implosion, but definitely the Pilot Shredder sticks a lot better.
Yeah, this is not the. This is in fact just Reno lock without combo. Feels. We'll see how this match goes along. Very good against the aggressive matches with that refreshment vendor, that 3-5 body, doing work.
I feel like you play this matchup like you're playing Druid. You just need to be at a certain health threshold, like being above like 14. It's quite okay.
And he takes a corruption. Some pretty not so great choices coming in from that first Dark Peddler, and the second one picking up that Flame Imp.
I actually like corrupting the Pilot Shredder here. It forces him to trade into something, but typically it's gonna trade into something anyways.
We're gonna see a tap from the TheJordude, and he's picking up his own Piloted Shredder.
Pretty good, pretty good.
Next turn
he has a pretty good turn. He could play the Flame In plus the Pilot Shredder. Definitely on curve.
And that Implosion to take care of Bran. Again, rolling for the 2.
Oh,
Never lucky with these.
never lucky baby rage.
And there is the Acidic Swamp Ooze. Knowing that RealTerror does have the Jiraxis, we might see a hold on that Ooze just for the Jiraxis weapon. Always feels good to get rid of it.
The TheJordude has a lot of cards in his hand, so he doesn't necessarily need to use the Ooze, so he can save that for Jiraxis. I like playing the Pilot Shredder, it's very sticky. He can potentially play the Doomsayer here as well, just to deny RealTerror turn 6. Playing the Emperor, potentially.
Yeah. Let's see.
I like the Doomsayer here. It does remove like RealTerror's possibility of playing Emperor on turn 6.
And it looks like, we see him going with the Shredder and the Flame In. Get a little bit more on board, knowing that RealTerror is running this aggressive combo Reno lock, which we all know can steal some games.
Definitely can steal a lot of games.
So that Zombie Chow. Not Reyes gonna trade likely into that Flame Imp. Healing Jordu back up to a nice 28.
Ooh. So the Emperor does come down right now. Reducing a lot of cards in his hand, but unfortunately... Oh, but RealTerror did get a combo piece off with Emperor, so that's actually quite nice.
That is. And the Dark Bomb.
Oh, the
Trading
top
hand.
decks, the top decks.
This series is a bunch of top decking. And he chooses to use the Ooze.
It's on curve, and he can use it as a more tempo type of play. Potentially, it contests Boom quite well as well.
It does.
Oh,
Do we see
snap.
a contestation of the Dr. Boom?
Ooh, I like this. I like this.
Or are we gonna see a play with some shenanigans and corruption?
Ooh, corruption and forcing it to trade. That's actually pretty
Forcing it to
good.
trade, and even with that, still not getting the best trade it can possibly get.
I like trading the two creatures on board into Boom and playing your own Boom. We know that RealTerror is playing a more aggressive type of Reno lock. Having 7 to the phase actually hurts quite a lot, and we don't know how many combo pieces that RealTerror has from the TheJordude's perspective.
And knowing he only got 5 cards discounted from the Shredder, and that's not the best Not the best drop from the Shredder.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
The best ones being the Millhouse Mana Storm and the Totem Golem. Always feels bad having those come out. Alright, and we see,
So looking at RealTerror's hand, the Siphon Soul looks pretty good. It does remove the boom. Other things that he can do is potentially use Bran and Argus and potentially go face, but that's not really looking too good.
RealTerror can clear her with the help of his boom bots. Trading into that 2-1 and that Siphon Soul to get rid of the 7/7 Doctor Boom.
He doesn't want to use the power overwhelming because that is his win
That
condition.
is his win condition. I'm not even so much about using choosing to attack into the Doctor Boom with his boom bot.
Interesting.
Interesting choices. A little bit of misordering there.
Definitely a little bit of misorder there from the RealTerror. Essentially the same thing.
But he could have cleared a little bit more of the minions.
As we see, the crowd is really mad right now.
Very mad crowd. And we see this Sludge Belcher come in just to cement that little misplay by the RealTerror. And that's a Faceless Manipulator coming out for the RealTerror. 2 out of the 3 combo pieces, or possibly 4. Knowing he does have the abusive. And coming with that Reno Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
4
really
and a
hurts.
1. That matters completely.
Luckily, the RealTerror played the Jordu before, knowing that this Reno deck doesn't really have burst, but really just grinds you out. So the RealTerror is sort of relaxed at this moment.
Alright. And then Big Game Hunter coming in for JorDude. See what the tap gives him.
Ooh, JorDude picking up a lot of heal, can use Earthen and the Refreshment Defender.
So much heal.
Yeah. Does negate the attack from Sludge Belcher, but having so much board. Ooh, and also healing the Belcher.
The Belcher back to full.
Ooh. Looking at the Sludge Belcher Golden actually looks pretty good.
It has been one of my favorite Goldens I have crafted, that's for sure.
Too bad it's gone from standard, right?
Yeah.
Feels bad.
Feels bad. 17 more days until we see the complete format just change with all the old gods cards and removing pesky cards like Sludge Belcher and the Piloted Shredder.
Yep.
So coming in for RealTerror, I think he's looking Twisting Nether would be great here for RealTerror.
Oh, so he opted for the Bronze Boot.
Opting for the bronze, the heal back to 29, not having to use the Reno Jackson.
It's essentially Reno 2.0, so does the same thing. Just missing 1 health.
And then leaves you a bit more bodies on the board. And the Mortal Coil coming in. Draws his own Drax.
Ooh, interesting.
Definitely not something I think Jordy will want to.
He definitely wants
right
that in the later of the game.
Once this combo is out of the way.
He can actually potentially play Draxus, but not this early. He does have the Belcher protecting the Draxus if he does decide to play it.
And the card count remaining for them is 13 for the RealTerror and 10 for the JorDude. The JorDude going into fatigue a little bit faster than the RealTerror. Alright, tap going in.
Tapping.
That's Hellfire.
Ooh, Hellfire, really good pickup. Does remove most of the board.
Still leaves that Sludge Belcher as a 3-2.
But definitely not that pesky to actually take care of. Only 2 health.
Alright. So have a way. Okay, let's have 2 cards. Defender and Draxus. Oh, tough choices.
Definitely very tough choices.
Oh,
the
the Emperor's coming down. And the Kazan Mystic not really serving a purpose except having a 4 mana 3/4 body, 4/3 body, and making all of them cards cheaper.
I really like Emperoring the Draxus, where you can play on turn 10 while also getting Inferno out. A really huge tempo type of play.
For sure. And that's also 3 more damage that Jordan can push if he's going to try and kill the RealTerror before that comes out.
I know there's a lot of cards in the RealTerror's hand and it's not too visible.
Yeah.
But the Belcher is really, really nice right now. It does contest most of the board. But can easily be removed with the Emperor Tourism, so it's something that actually needs to be played.
Gotta respect that Thorson being on the board.
Usually if...
Trying the Shadow Flame. And that silence on the Emperor, since there is no way to remove it, and getting free ticks of Emperor is never a good thing. Alright. Picking up a Implosion, being able to clear a little bit.
I actually like the JorDude playing Jiraxes as soon as possible. He is protected with the Belcher, so he's not really that vulnerable. Another thing he can do is he can grind it out until the end to play Jiraxes. Ooh, Shadow Ball.
Shadow Ball. That's
also
not a card you see very often.
When I play Shadow Ball in my Reno decks, I typically take it for Implosion because I had enough of it doing 2 damage. But that's the only time I'm playing Shadow Ball. That's the only time.
Yeah.
But he has both of them in the deck, so that's also quite interesting.
If only Shadow Ball could go phase, we can see a lot of power go out. Alright, let's see.
So we do see
Picking up a Dark Bomb for RealTerror with that Shadow Flame.
That looks pretty good. Can Abusive Sergeant into Shadow Flame as well.
That's also true. He loses a little bit of the combo. 4 potential damage coming up. And is that just going to be the Shadow? That is the Shadow Flame.
Yeah, I see the RealTerror isn't too much worried about his health either. The advantage of knowing what deck you're playing is actually pretty good.
That is for sure. And there is a low fib. Hovering over the low fib. Alright. Oh. Let's see.
Ooh.
Can't do that Siphon Soul. 1 mana too short. So Jordan going to be a little bit worried about this combo. It's not like he doesn't have any Defenders of Argus. No heal except for Reno.
I believe the RealTerror can actually win this matchup through fatigue. The JorDude is actually ahead on fatigue as well.
2 cards up on fatigue.
Yeah.
2 cards up on fatigue, so JorDude is going to be fatiguing faster. Playing around that, we might just see RealTerror go for the long game. And that's the Shadow Bolt. Ooh. And a Doomsayer.
Ooh, I like this play right
and
here.
There's a Twisting Nether. Few turns, a little bit too late for the full value, but still.
Still, it can be countered with the counter to the Infernos that the Lord Axis puts out later on in the game. Definitely not that bad. I like tapping right here and then just playing the Reno.
Yeah. That has to be a Reno coming in. He does know JorDude is running the... it's not running combo since playing in the Swiss format. So I wouldn't... The only real damage you can see is the Dark Bomb, which was used.
Yeah, Dark Bomb was definitely used.
And there's possible Jiraxis for 3 damage to face.
But that's only a total of 6 damage, so potentially RealTerror
can sit at his 10 life.
Yeah, 10 life and feel okay
safe about it.
He definitely feels pretty good right now.
Alright. And that is the Reno coming in. Going to get cleared off by the Doomsayer. Doom is coming. And Sylvanas.
Ooh, Sylvanas is picked up.
There's no way Dwayne knows his deck, because if he knew his deck, he would have played Jurassic.
Alright. There's Sylvanas. Very interesting card. Used by a few people in control matchups. Gets you very inefficient trades from your opponents. And if they just ignore it, Shadow Flame Sylvanas is something we all...
Very good, very powerful.
Very powerful. They're everything.
I feel like this Sylvanas is going to do a lot of work. RealTerror can Twisting Nether, but doesn't feel good.
8 mana to clear the Sylvanas. Not exactly what he wants to be doing.
Not too good. Ooh, RealTerror does decide to tap.
I even feel okay about, since RealTerror does have the Jiraxis in hand, being able to play Jiraxis and get those Infernals out.
If RealTerror knows what the certain deck that JorDude is playing, where there's no burst potential, Jiraxis can actually potentially be coming down.
Oh, and a Hellfire comes out for the JorDude, essentially being able to clear this board.
I really like the Hellfire. It's a really, really good pickup.
Oh.
Ooh, decides to use the Implosion. Oh.
And rolls for 2.
Feels bad. Feels bad. Feels bad.
Is he going to use the Hellfire instead? Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah. Alright. I personally would have been a fan of just putting the Hellfire down.
Definitely.
Here's the board. And the Imps don't really do that much. They give you a little bit more.
Yeah, a little bit more oomph. But when we see RealTerror at 30 health, those 1/1s don't really matter too much, unless for trading alone. But
we're gonna see a quick trade onto that Sylvanas, I reckon. Does he use the? He is in fatigue. Faster. RealTerror has bumped up in the fatigue to JorDude.
RealTerror wasn't. Well,
so going faster in the fatigue, I don't feel too badly about that.
RealTerror does have a little bit more burst than the JorDude does. Actually, a lot more. Yeah, due to half health.
But he's still missing that key card, the Leroy Jenkins. He has the Faceless, but he does no Leroy. Just the whole point of this whole combo deck. Has the PO.
Yeah. RealTerror is definitely was tapping quite a bit just to get the Leroy in hand and potentially combo the JorDude down.
And Twilight Drake coming down. Nice solid 4/9.
Twilight Drake is pretty strong, can hardly be removed with a simple Hellfire. You might need to use Siphon Soul, yeah.
Gonna have to use a Siphon Soul on that.
That Corruption actually could have been used there. Just taking 4 damage to face, and that's not exactly lethal with the Leroy combo.
True. Full combo. There's Leroy.
Finally picking up the Leroy.
Alright, so we have 20 damage for the Leroy combo. So we just need a little bit, and 3 and 1. RealTerror going into fatigue. While the JorDude is sitting comfortably out of fatigue for a couple more turns. And Jiraxis comes down. I think a little late on the Jiraxis.
Yeah, it's definitely a little late. Knowing that the JorDude doesn't have any burst, this Jiraxis is a little late. Could have played a few turns before.
And would have been able to get a lot more of those Infernals. We would have possibly seen in a completely different game. We also, with this, have the extra 3 damage per turn that RealTerror needs to pop JorDude. Let's see.
So definitely trading.
Is he gonna go
targeting
full?
face. Targeting face is actually not bad at the same time. He does need the damage to put out Jordude at half health in order to combo him down.
Low
that does come down. Could come down. Could potentially come down. He could play Lothab and another body on the board, potentially Reno Jackson, just to have 10 power on board.
There's there we go.
Yeah.
Full health Jordude and Lothab.
So we do see the Lothab and the Reno coming down, just for tempo, not particularly for health.
Oh, that feels pretty bad. No twisting nether can save him now. At least this turn.
Definitely. So RealTerror, no, I mean the Jordude is threatening lethal on board. He definitely needs to do something. He needs to remove as much board as possible.
Yeah, hitting exactly full with this and the Jirax's 3 damage. Alright. Then Inferno coming out. And Imp Gang Boss hovering. Has to clear this board though. Otherwise, have a bad time.
Ooh, yeah.
That does save RealTerror for a turn. Unfortunately, that Infernal is going to get BGH'd.
Can also potentially twisting nether as well.
Yeah. Oh! And
we have BGH the 7/7.
that's lethal.
Yeah, and owling the 3/5 for lethal with
The
Hellfire.
Jordude turns this game around. Alright, going up.
Yeah,
Dying to fatigue.
kind of fatigued. The Jordude taking game number 2 from the RealTerror. Would this final actually be a sweep, or will the RealTerror bring it back?
Alright. So Jordude's last class is going to be the Rogue.
The Rogue, and looking at
RealTerror still has that combo Reno lock.
Pally.
And they are not spending any time. They know exactly what they're doing. Third time queuing up with that combo Reno lock against the Rogue. Let's see. And that is Oil Rogue for the Jordude.
I personally like Aura Rogue. I play a lot on ladder.
And a lot of bursts.
Yeah,
a
definitely
lot of bursts.
Yeah, definitely a lot of bursts. I typically like this matchup as well because I can take as long as I want with the Reno lock. Reno lock tends to play a little bit slow. One thing the Oil Rogue needs to consider is that if it's playing the combo version or not, and typically RealTerror right now is playing with the combo version.
Nice. Alright. Alright. And we see that Dark Peddler pulling up a Mortal Coil for the RealTerror to deal with those Violet Teacher spawns that I'm sure are coming down.
Oh, we see the Georgia face tanking the Dark Peddler. Also, we'll call it the Dank Peddler.
The Dank Peddler.
The Dank.
Maybe in the new expansion we will have the Dank Peddler.
Yeah.
And that 4/7 is going to be a little bit annoying. No sap in the hand for the Jordude. Has to just place a Shredder down.
Definitely needs something to contest with the Twilight.
Oh!
Picking up the Succubus.
Shredder replaces itself with a new one. Right. And there's that backstab.
Oh, comboing that with the Azure Drake can easily remove the other part of the Shredder.
Easily.
And let's just hope it spawns a 1 health minion just so it can easily be removed with the dagger that he has right now.
Let's see where that pops.
That's unfortunate.
Not quite. That 3 health, a little bit of a predicament.
Or it would have been like a huge tempo play.
Alright. Alright.
07.
RealTerror hovering over that defender of Argus, hunting up the River Croc. And there goes that Mortal Coil. Drawing another card and getting rid of that Drake.
Okay, so then, never mind, I changed my mind.
Alright.
I like the Belcher here. It's quite sticky. He can also go for more tempo with the Azure Drake.
Very true. He'd also not the most efficient, but could also Violent Teacher Eviscerate. But instead going to go with that Sludge Belcher, deals with the Defender of Argus pretty well, and leaves him with still the Sludge Belcher on board.
Yeah, it definitely contested it quite well. Tapping here.
Picking up the Brand Bronzebeard. And the Earthen Ring being hovered, healing the RealTerror up back to 30 health.
So playing also the Zombie Jow just to contest the Belcher fully with its 1-2 slime as well.
JorDude picking up that Deadly Poison. Good Deadly Poison, just needs that Blade Flurry. If he can draw the Blade Flurry from the Azure Drake.
I like playing the Teacher and pointing the Deadly Poison here. Removes that 3-3 and having the Belcher on
Re-equips the
board.
Dagger.
Yeah.
That way he gets the full duration of the Deadly Poison and still deals with this board relatively well. Attack the 3-3 and face. No trading, always face.
Looking pretty good right now.
Alright, and let's see what the RealTerror is going to respond with. He does have the Siphon Soul to deal immediate damage.
Is that 8 mana the twisting nether that I see? It is, it is.
It is! And he picks up from the tap the Acidic Swampoos, going to be taking out that blade, that weapon with the Deadly Poison.
Feels good, man, because it can potentially remove the Blade Flurry that the TheJordude can follow up with, resulting as a full board clear, so that's also nice at the same time.
Yeah, there we go. Alright.
No, I like Teacher, Eviscerate the
Let's see. Not the cleanest way of using mana here.
Actually, sort of like
The TheJordude can technically remove the board just with trading the 3-5 into 2-3s, and then the 1-1, yeah, weapon and 1-1 into the 3-2.
Or is he just low fab? Just gonna go full out with the low fab.
Yeah, that's also a
He's
play
gonna
as well.
equip the new weapon and probably stick with it. There we go. Trending lethal.
I like this. I like going to face rather than trading. He does have a lot of burst in hand. Next turn he can eviscerate to oil and then to eviscerate, which does a huge amount of damage considering the amount of damage on board as well.
He's just missing a Blade Flurry, and that would be a very decisive game.
relevant.
Oh!
And the mind control attack.
Out of 3 good targets, he only got the worst one out of them.
That
Worst
must
one.
feel bad.
Yeah.
That must feel bad.
Very, very. Now the RealTerror is actually forced to use the anti-heal bot. He can't risk not playing it.
And then trading into that sludge to get rid of any potential damage. Alright. And the anti-kill bot. Only problem, let's see. The one not gold card in JorDude's deck, it looks like right now, that Edwin.
Quite expensive card. Quite an
Very
expensive, yeah,
expensive.
quite an expensive card.
How much does he have?
RealTerror is
Threatening
still.
a lot of damage.
Yeah, although the TheJordude does have a lot of damage, the RealTerror actually has a chance because War Rogue only has so much minions in this deck, and also if you can sustain out of the burst, the RealTerror has a huge chance of winning this matchup. Just need that Reno in his hand right now.
No Reno. Oh, getting rid of that. And the Van Cleef comes out as a 6/6, taking out the Stolen Apprentice. And I'm guessing there's just going to be a simple trade. And the Lofeb going face has to not die.
The Twisting Nether is definitely coming down here. This is too good to not use.
Perfect Twisting Nether turn.
Yeah.
And there we go.
There we go.
Jordude back
There we go.
at square one. He does
Oh.
have the
Oh.
Azure Drake.
Oh, the backstab is actually a really huge pickup since they can actually combo the 2 Tinkers plus the Eviscerate.
He just needs a Blade Flurry, and that is going to be... and there's the Siphon Soul. The crowd going wild over that golden Siphon Soul.
Oh. In this situation, all the RealTerror has to do is consistently remove the creatures on board. You don't want to combo that with Tinkers.
Once one minion lives a turn, that is a ending game. Don't want to get swept in the finals. Feels pretty bad.
Feels pretty bad.
Alright. Oh. Deadly Poison.
So he's going all in right
All
now?
in. All in.
All in.
He's not using the second
not
arrow.
using the second one.
Jordude knowing that the acidic swamp ooze from the RealTerror is gone, so that weapon is going to stay pretty safe. Not going to get removed for any random reason from a 2-drop of all things.
Grand Lothar.
Grand Lothar.
That looking pretty good. Really
Making
good.
all those spells, including that backstab cost 10 mana.
Because
That hurts.
RealTerror might be afraid of the Blade Flurry removing everything on board. That's why he's hesitating playing these cards right now.
Yeah.
Because that would be an entire board clear.
And a lot of damage.
Playing the Brand and the Lothar does allow RealTerror to stick 3 minions on board before Blade Flurry. But as we see, the Jordude doesn't really have Blade Flurry, but RealTerror is playing around that.
Oh, that's a sap. Not exactly what the Jordude needs to stay in this game.
Definitely not, definitely.
Alright. Oh.
Oh.
Dude, what if he's dead? He's dead. What if he taps the arena?
Okay.
He's dead.
So I like the Sludge Belcher here. It just saves you a little bit.
The Belcher, he definitely needs to play the Belcher. He
Oh,
needs
that
to.
Belcher's coming down every time.
He definitely needs to put his health.
But I
He
don't
definitely needs to be
think you tap
protected.
here. Oh.
Ooh, does he decide to tap? If he decides to tap, it will be lethal.
Yeah. Don't do it.
Don't do it, man.
You're
It's
so
not
low.
it's
You
not
know
worth
oil
it.
can do these
It's not worth it.
things.
It's not worth it, man. It's not worth it.
And knowing that Jordude has not played.
Oh, he did not. Oh,
That
the
is
Jordude picking out
lethal.
lethal. The last 2 damage. Oh wait, does he have enough mana? No, he's 1 mana off. 1 mana off.
Oh. Yeah, 1 mana off.
We have a very rowdy crowd at the back. Definitely a very rowdy crowd.
Very.
So the Jordude is actually 1 mana off, so it's not technically lethal. The RealTerror can actually pick up Reno in the following turns. But the Jordude is going all in.
Alright. I like the Tinker here.
If the Jordude puts the RealTerror down to 2, he is unable to actually tap for an answer for lethal.
Yeah. Oh. 1 damage off lethal.
Yeah, feels bad, man.
If RealTerror draws, that is not what we needed. And Hellfire. Oh, Dark Ball.
We missed lethal.
He
Oh,
missed it. And that makes RealTerror up a game. Has to win. Alright.
definitely a very, very close match between the two.
Coming down also 1 turn. Jordude not pulling that Blade Flurry. Oh, tense matches.
So having the rogue left, the RealTerror has the warrior and the pally left against the rogue.
Warrior and Paladin.
Depending on what kind of warrior that the RealTerror is playing, the rogue typically has a bad matchup against it, especially against control. Patriot not so much.
Especially against
Yeah.
control, which I assume with the lineup that RealTerror is bringing, I would assume this would be Control Warrior,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
queued up.
Yeah, he definitely wants staff first because it is a really good matchup. Oh, but we do
It's
see his
patron.
We do see his patron.
Ooh.
Is Patron preferable against Rogue?
Patrons with the Corcoran Elite, so a little bit more burst on this.
But when you know how to play Patron.
And Jordude mulls this entire hand,
Yeah, why am I cheering?
picks up some spells, the Violet Teacher, and the Preparation.
Oh my god, Jordude sucks! Wow.
Okay, we're just tilting him.
Let's see. Let's see how RealTerror runs this.
So
Surprised to
so
not see the.
so for this matchup, the rogue technically just needs to get rid of the 2 waves of patron and the 2 frothings, and pretty much the game is yours. So those blade flurries would matter quite a bit in this matchup,
Yeah,
but not picking them up really hurts you.
really hurts you.
Because not even Phantom Knives can save you.
RealTerror also opting not to have Shredders, instead having Corcoran Elites,
Ooh,
giving
so
you a
aggressive.
little bit more burst and being able to draw into damage that. Well, Rogue uses its life total as a resource, being able to take stuff out with your weapons. That way you can combo into all things. You see a weapon, and it's just a simple hero power pass from RealTerror, and the hero power from Jordude. And attack and get rid of that armor. Not really a clear turn 3 coming up. And that is a Frothing Berserker.
So the Jordude actually has to spend quite a bit of resources removing this.
That is for sure.
Yeah, definitely a backstab is definitely coming down with a hero power.
Good old Blood Mage Falmos. Alright.
Oh, picking up the Acolyte can potentially get quite a bit of draws from this.
True. And RealTerror opting to use having the Cruel Taskmaster in his deck.
I like this quite a bit. It does set up for the Acolyte the following turn
Yeah.
with the Unstable Ghoul, depending if it gets removed on this turn. Ooh, picking up the Sap.
Picking up Sap.
Jordan might play the Violet Teacher prepping into the Sap, but I feel like that's too much resources wasted onto the Violet Teacher.
Yeah. Not really the most efficient. And Phantom Knives not really doing too much in this matchup. Doesn't clear off patrons unless you can magically have 2 Azure Drakes.
Pointing at a Belcher is definitely a pretty good play. It does contest with everything on board and not killing it as well.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Picking up a Slam.
Slime is pretty good.
That does allow RealTerror to get rid of. This Sludge Belcher.
Yeah, typically just get rid of the Belcher.
And also give him a card draw at the same time. I like it. He doesn't even have to use the Slam for this. He can trade the I'm forgetting the name on that damn card.
Which one?
The Unstable
Oh, Unstable
Ghoul.
Ghoul. The Unstable Ghoul.
Unstable Ghoul gets him a card draw so it doesn't get immediately burst, leaving just the Acolyte on the field. And the draw being very important in this. So if you can flood the board and they don't have Deadly Poison Blade Flurry, you just win with patrons. And that's just a naked Violet Teacher.
Yeah. He doesn't really want a Phantom Knives. It just generates too much draw. Oh, pretty good here. Slamming and potentially axing. Ooh, picking up the
a
Corcoran.
Corcoran.
You can definitely put up the pressure here.
Oh.
He's a little conflicted right now.
little bit conflicted.
Yeah, playing the Dread Corsair doesn't allow him to play the Corcoran.
Yeah.
But hero power is always good, gaining 2 health. Always good. Always good against a rogue.
Armor up. Yeah. Or is he going to...
He could think of using the Unstable Ghoul.
Yeah. Unfortunately, not having a battle rage. Battle rage would be a godsend right now. And that's the sap. Yeah.
Double sap.
Double sap. And the Violet Teacher. Violet Teacher can sap one of them away. Like you can sap away the Dread Corsair, making him have to replay it for the full value instead of for the 1 mana that it was played at with the War Axe in play.
He might also want to sap the Acolyte as well, but what the 1/3 unstable Ghoul or the Acolyte is typically the same thing. It does deny draw.
That's true. They both deny the draw.
He does not want to generate 1/1 because he doesn't want the Acolyte to draw anymore.
Yep. I like that. I like that. And an Armor Smith coming in for RealTerror. Also another way to Patron wins this match.
Yeah.
Is having an insane Armor Smith turn.
We do see Control Warrior cutting this card out, but this card is really, really strong against the Rogue.
Oh, entirely.
Yeah.
Just a 1/4 body that gets you more health as it takes damage. And we certainly see a Whirlwind come in.
Oh, picking up the slam.
Oh. That does allow him to trade. And also gives him a draw to get rid of. Okay.
Yeah, having to slam this, he does have to trade the taunt in, leaving the Armor Smith vulnerable. I always like the Armor Smith behind a taunt. Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, the 4-draw Battle Rage for 2 mana. That feels pretty good. The crowd.
Alright, I saw that!
That was a smash.
Yeah.
What? Oh, slam coming in huge there. Coming in huge. Is this gonna be? Ooh. Picking up the patrons and Dr. Boom as well, and a Death Sprite.
Oh, picking up the second Armor Smith. This is gonna be disastrous. Oh,
I like
man.
using the Death Sprite here. And next turn with all this.
Oh, I like this. Playing the
Corcoran?
Corcoran and late, putting up the aggression.
So he has to find a way to deal with the Corcoran. Otherwise, lots of damage coming out.
Yeah.
And
Because the following turn, the double Armor Smith is going to generate a lot of armor because with the Patron and stuff like that.
oh,
Yeah.
and the Phantom Knives, guiding him more armor.
So the Jordude is probably deciding which one to
SI.
remove. Oh, the Armor Smith not being removed.
Oh, that might come to bite him in the butt in the next turn. Especially with that Despite being able to clear up that SI7 agent. And is that a Whirlwind I see?
That is
a
a
Whirlwind we see.
Oh, God.
RealTerror about to go from 28 health to
I'm not sure how many.
let's make it. I'm gonna guess. Let's go up to 40 minimum.
Yeah, about 40. I think it's about 16 health that he's getting. Wait, 16 was.
Yeah, double
Yeah,
armor
20.
smith.
Yeah.
Could they be using that inner ridge on the patron first before the attack comes off?
Oh,
That
God.
is going to be nuts.
This got
He chooses not to
disastrous.
use the whirlwinds. Using
Interesting.
his resources
Yeah.
carefully.
Yeah.
Having a deadly poison blade flurry would be pretty devastating for RealTerror, which is certainly not what he needs. It's to put a huge board on the field to immediately get removed.
Yeah,
But sitting at a comfortable 37 life, three life off from 40, almost there.
And we don't see the Jordude picking up the flurry. If he had the flurry right now, this board would be entirely cleared. But with how much armor that RealTerror would get from that, I'm not sure the Jordude has enough damage to actually take him down. Unless Edwin sticks on the board for quite a long time.
And RealTerror looking quite confident.
Yeah, quite good. Yeah, we see him crossing his arms, being quite confident.
Very confident.
He's like, I got this.
Oh. The Phantom Knives.
Ooh, even more armor we see.
It does summon another patron.
Yeah, definitely
Since the
another
board
patron
being
one.
full, it does get rid of one, and that is the blade. And that's game 5.
Game 5, RealTerror might even come back.
Game 5. That is pretty
Ooh,
good.
this is a pretty intense match. Not
Oil
gonna lie.
Rogue versus
Paladin.
Oil Rogue versus Paladin.
Have you played RealTerror? What kind of paladins are you using?
He is running the Secret Paladin.
Secret Paladin.
As we saw for the match beforehand, he is running the Secret Paladin.
So this matchup I feel is like really 50-50. Although people say that Rogue is favored, but if you get like a God curve for Secret Paladin, you can typically beat anything.
That is very true.
Yeah.
Very true. Let's see who can summon the powers of RNGesus the most.
Yeah.
Jordu just drawing incredibly poor that game. Not grabbing those blade flurries, which were essential to him winning that game.
He didn't cut them, did he?
No, I don't believe so. I didn't get to see any of the Jordu's matches, but I'm assuming he is running it. Since it is such an essential card in the Oil Rogue burst. And the last one coming in. Seeing that Secret Paladin. Ooh.
So looking at the Jordu's hand, I would get rid of the 2 5-drops, keeping the Deadly Poison. Sort of want the backstab, SI, like all the good stuff, those early removals. Potentially a 4-drop as well.
Even Sap is pretty good.
Yeah, Sap, 4-drop, curving it out. Looking at the RealTerror's hand, I'll remove everything. You don't want any secrets from your hand.
No. The only secret you kind of ever really want to keep. Avenge depends. Oh, that is a good curve coming for the RealTerror.
This is a pretty sick Secret Paladin hand.
Yeah. Is the reverse sweep going to happen?
One of the audience told us to bring the brooms out.
Are we going to sweep Jordan off his feet? And a sprint comes in. Definitely could have used that in the last game.
Playing the Secret Keeper and coining out the Avenge is actually a huge play. And potentially following up with the mini bot, that's a huge early board that RealTerror is going to gain. And looking at the hand that TheJordude did right now, it can contest with the board. You can potentially use Dagger and Deadly Poison.
Using
and
a lot of
backstab.
resources if RealTerror decides to go with the Secret Keeper Coin Avenge.
We do see TheJordude having a sprint in hand, but he doesn't need to prep to supplement it in order to get value out of it, or he's never going to use it into the entire game, because he has to consistently remove the creatures on board to stay alive.
Pretty much. Pretty much. And since RealTerror getting a good curve, we do see a Consecrate in RealTerror's hand. Likely due to all the players running Zoo in almost every lineup.
Yeah, before we never saw Consecrate in Secret Paladin, but we do see it now.
We saw it, we didn't see it for a while.
Yeah, for a while.
But then we saw it when people like... Well, when people try to innovate a deck, cut the Consecrate and put in Ragnaros.
I also, but I guess like they use it to beat the mirror matchup, because whoever plays monster first usually is a pretty good spot.
Also, the Ragnaros does good against the the Freeze Mage, which we haven't seen too much of today.
I like punching Divine Shield and Dagger using Deadly, so you can remove anything that's on board next turn. Like on turn 4, usually there's Pilot Shredder.
And Secret Paladin having no weapon removals either. Alright. Not the strongest turn, just a hero power coming out from RealTerror, but having that Avenge out means that one of those will get buffed. Probably going to be that recruit.
TheJordude does look like he's in a pretty good spot here. He is going to play down the Pilot Shredder on curve. It does put him a little bit ahead. He did play it before the RealTerror does.
Checking is not.
Definitely not attacking because he's afraid of the Avenge.
Oh. And then RealTerror picking up Noble Sacrifice. Ooh. Very good at certain times. Very good at certain times.
I definitely like this.
Yeah, Shredder coming down. And then you can just go, really just go face.
Blessing
Don't need to trade since you had the Avenge up. Only thing you really get punished by is a Blade Flurry.
Blessing of Kings might be coming down here, but a sap is really devastating if it's used on whoever it's buffed on. So Pilot Shredder is definitely a lot better play than the Blessing of Kings.
And we still don't know, JorduDude does not know what secret that is. That is down.
Yeah. Ooh, Blessing of Kings does come
Blessing
down.
of Kings. Alright. And that trades.
Oh!
Oh! That does set up into the fan in JorduDude's hand, which RealTerror must be expecting, since it is a pretty good way of keeping Secret Paladin down below.
Yeah, RealTerror is playing a little bit more off curve now. Like next turn, he will be following up with the Pilot Shredder with the Noble Sacrifice.
Oh.
Ooh.
Right.
TheJordude is actually picking up a lot of cards that can actually handle a lot of RealTerror's threat, and we don't really see a Mysterious Challenger yet as well.
No, not yet, unfortunately.
I like the Noble Sacrifice here. If TheJordude attacks in, the Avenger will go off on whatever creature is on board.
Yeah. Does even... Yeah. Oh, the joy of trying to figure out what secrets those are. We fortunately do know that that is an Avenge and a Noble Sacrifice. But unbeknownst to JorduDude, that could be a mix of everything.
Yeah, it could be Repentance, could be anything.
So it's not Repentance.
Yeah.
And the backstab.
Ooh.
Oh.
2-1 coming out. Oh, mini block.
He knows what he's doing.
Alright.
So technically, the RealTerror can knife juggler into the minibot and then
Hero Power.
yeah, rolling 3, having that 2-1 remove the Drake on board.
Yeah. Seeing where those juggles land. They land on the. If they both land on the Drake, I'd even be alright with trading into the Drake just to get away from any more Fan of Knives dealing 2 damage, which would clear again except for the mini-bot.
Another play is that he could consecrate to guarantee the remove on the Drake, but it doesn't feel too good. You're only doing it on a single target.
If you were to do that play, I would put down the shield and mini-bot. Doesn't die to anything immediately. But we see RealTerror hovering that knife juggler.
Alright, so he is going down with the juggles. If he's got a juggle, he better do it now. The animations are quite long.
Oh, 1 hits. Oh. And the second one does not hit, unfortunately.
Oh, the prep. Oh, prep sprint.
Prep, sprint, and the flurry.
Ooh, there's a lot of cards that TheJordude can get to move this board.
But
yeah, SI is definitely a lot better here.
That is for sure. That is for sure. Gets rid of that juggler. We do find out that it is the Avenge procced on that bluegill. Not the worst target to have it on.
This is definitely the lot safer play. If you were to prep sprint and not get a Blade Flurry, it could be really bad for the JorduDude.
JorduDude can even do a prep eviscerate, since you must know that that is a Noble Sacrifice.
Yeah, definitely. There's a couple of turns, for it to be tested.
Bunch of different ways to go about that. Going face, gonna hit the Noble Sacrifice, and then the weapon going into that 5-3 likely.
And then prepping the Eviscerate to
Oh.
remove the 5-3.
He preps Eviscerate, saving that durability on the. Oh.
Oh!
And that's Dr. Boom, everyone's favorite card in Hearthstone.
Usually for a rogue, Dr. Boom is pretty hard to handle with, but since the Jordude already has board, it's actually not as threatening as it seems.
Yeah.
Sprint and clear. What?
Sprint and clear? Ooh. Mad Scientist, not getting as much value as it.
Secret Paladin.
Yeah. Should be on the other side.
I
Free
know.
secret out.
I know. Oh,
Alright, cementing that board with the Lotheb.
okay. So the boom mods really have to do a lot of work there. Yeah, a lot of work. That Lotheb actually looks quite threatening, but although the Jordude might use Sprint, it does take up the whole turn.
Oh, I do like. Alright, Boombot. Let's see. Oh,
Oh, there's no secret. What a surprise.
no secret.
Yeah, what's
Whoa.
surprise?
I don't even think rogues don't even have a secret. Feels bad. There's nothing hidden about rogues.
Would it be correct to use the boom bot onto the face instead of the Lotheb, like the last boom bot? Because it couldn't have killed the Lotheb anyway. Oh, I guess it could with the attack in and with the 4, but that's actually a pretty huge risk.
There are those blade flares.
Oh! Oh!
Oh, damn.
Oh, RealTerror picking up the mysterious challenge. Oh, with 4 secrets!
4 secrets.
4 secrets!
Alright. And the sprint must be coming down. Draws a Drake, the Edwin, Sludge Belcher, and SI7. Knowing what those are.
Edwin actually looks pretty good here. If you play SI and kill off something, the Avenge will go off, and it will be a lot of damage.
That's going. Oh.
Whoa!
Is that enough?
Uh,
That is not enough.
that's not enough. That's only 14 points of damage. So he's 2 off.
Two
lead
off. 2 off. If that
Two
was
off
a
lead
true
off.
silver champion, that would have been game.
Uh-huh.
Alright. RealTerror coming in with. Oh. Alright. Alright. I even like the. Yeah.
Yeah, so RealTerror might even think of using an ultimate to
Buff
yeah,
up
just
that
a
1/1.
1/1.
Making a very difficult board
Yeah,
for
put-
Jordude to clear.
Yeah, putting much pressure as possible.
Ooh, and the Consecration going all in.
Yeah, he might even decide to trade a 2/2 in, but I would like to go face here.
Yeah. He trades a 2/2 in just so.
Well, I guess like he already used a consecrate already.
Yeah. And 7/2, leaving him at 5 health.
Well, I guess this forces the weapon to actually proc the Noble Sacrifice rather than the minion.
Yeah.
So that's actually really relevant.
And I think that's going. That
Is definitely
that
going to
looks
be
like
game. So the
Unless
Drake can
Jordan
come down, the Blade Flurry into the SI, still doesn't remove everything on board. Belcher can potentially save him, but I don't think that's enough.
No, he still dies even if he plays Belcher. He just trade the Oh, that's
Oh, the sap does come.
Slap does. Is that?
Yeah,
Oh, that's not
but
gonna
he
be
still
enough,
can't. Yeah, he
though.
still can't remove all the damage on board.
Oh, that is tough. That is very tough.
That is definitely very tough.
That's if that was a prep, he could have Blade Flurry, got rid of all that, and sapped the guy back.
But that's too much mana. Too much mana. We do see the RealTerror taking the finals against TheJordude. Definitely a very, very tight match.